What's up, people? It's your boy Riley Escobar holding it down for y'all once again. And y'all tuned into the Just Send It podcast. Y'all know the podcast created to generate debate, change perspectives, explore new concept, and just overall having those timeless conversations that we typically have. So I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I wasn't even planning on doing the episode this week because I didn't really have a chance to actually get down to business and actually draft it out like I usually do. Spent this past weekend actually doing a lot of graphic design work for the Instagram. But we gonna still give y'all episode. So without let me stop rambling. Let's actually get into it. This is episode 5. So without further ado, cue intro, please. Good, fam. You alright, man? You chilling, man? Yeah, yo, I'm good, yo. I'm good, yo. You know, Gucci, out here maintaining, trying to do my thing, yo. Good to know, man. What's good, fam? You good? Yeah, I'm good, yo. Try and flood the streets or whatever. You know how we do, man. We just try, we try to elevate. Briefcase state of mind, So, for this episode, it may seem like it's gonna be some sort of like a rant. It's gonna be impromptu because I don't really actually have an actual topic to actually talk about this weekend. I'm actually saving the heat kind of for later on. I got some ideas drafted up, but I'm just gonna tell y'all what I've been into these past couple weeks, and hopefully y'all enjoy that. It may not be a super duper long podcast, but we're gonna see where it takes us. But like lately, I've been falling into this pocket of like nostalgia lately, right? I copped a whole case of like super donuts, and for like all y'all 90s kids who was getting the free lunch at the time, y'all understand that the super donuts are like those little warm little donut things they warmed up for us for breakfast. And like you'll get to school early as a bitch in the morning, like an hour early, just to have that breakfast to get the super donuts, the waffle sticks. And they had a bunch of bangers. I just thinking about it right now, man, shout out to all the lunch ladies that really held it down for us. The kids that paid for lunch, and also the kids that got the free lunch. I'm one of them cats that got the free lunch. Actually, my whole table, my whole squad back then in elementary school, middle school got the free lunch. So, shout out to those lunch ladies that really held it down, because like, man, like that food was hitting. Like, it's certain stuff here and there that was like, that wasn't really hitting, but like the food was hitting, especially the breakfast. The breakfast was hitting more than anything. So shout out to them. But I copped a whole case of super donuts. It had to be at least like 60 in the case. And I didn't have no place in my house to put it. I put like half in the deep freezer, and then the other half, I'm looking like, what the hell I'm gonna do with like 25 donuts. So I reached out to Ash. She was in the college podcast, which is episode 1, and she took half of them off my hands for me. So that was cool. When I brought them to work, everybody at work who was like under like 40, they was like, "Man, you got some super donuts? Like, can I have some? Can I have some?" Like, yeah, sure. Like, I got a big case of it, so he could take it. And he was like, "Man, these joints really bring back like the times where things was just super simple. None of this adult and stuff that we be on today, paying bills, trying to figure out our passion, our purpose in life, trying to make the right decisions, right choices. None of that. Is just, you go to school, you chill, you hang with your friends, you don't pay attention to none of the schoolwork, you go home, you play basketball, watch WB Kids, Fox Kids, something like that. And you chill. You feel me? Simpler times. But, I don't know who came up with this idea of like, okay, being an adult and like you got an adult at some point, you gotta be responsible. Cause everybody that I know currently adulting, they looking like, yo, this shit is a bad deal, like 360 deal. And now that I'm older, I kind of realize like, man, stay in the child's place. Like for real, let's stay in the child's place, enjoy your childhood, because like when it's time to take care of that responsibility, you're given responsibility. Oh boy, there's no giving it back. It's not like here, like here, take the responsibilities back, take the bills back, take the credit card back. Like nah, fam, like that's on you, and like nobody is coming through at all taking responsibility off your plate. Like, nah, like whatever responsibilities you got to do, whether it's take care of your kids, whether you got to go to work, you got to take care of your parents, whatever, that's on you, fam. So that shit is kind of crazy. But yeah, I've been in my pocket lately for nostalgic. I actually been watching I had to go back to watching the show that I used to watch back in the day called the OC. And like, man, like it's kind of like I don't know. Like it's kind of bad in a way because it's like, man, it's very cliche and like the protagonist is kind of like a tough kid from the city who don't really talk much, and his parents is messed up. I think his mother is on alcohol and his father is abusive and was like a scammer or something like that. And he got his public defender actually took him in and some more stuff. But I remember like watching the OC when it first dropped. When I was a kid. And like the one scene that stood out to me, like when the city kid from Chino, like was just chilling in Orange County for a day because his public defender took him out there. Like yo got in like a fight with one of the jocks out there, and like he just straight decked him like, yo, welcome to the OC, and then this swung on him like yeet, like bow, and it was in there scruffing. So I was like, dang, that joint is crazy. But like one of my favorite parts of the show, is the fact that like now that he live in the burbs now, like he live in the suburbs and he from the city, like he got his own pool house that he stay in and got his own kind of space for real. And I'm like, dang, like man, I would love to have somebody like, adopt me into that family and I get my own pool house, let alone like room in the house. I get my pool house by the pool. That is crazy. But like I've been watching that show lately, and it's very like what was it's very like it's very cliche in a way, right? It's very cliche, but like even though it's very cliche, it's very entertaining to me because every time the theme song come on, it's very few. It's few theme songs that like really evoke like the good times, the simpler times for me, right? And one of those theme songs is the California, California, California. That joint, every time like the intro play for the next episode and I hear that, I'm looking like, dang, yo, this remind me of like 2006 for real. Like, man, I was in the sixth grade, still ain't had no cable, no internet, no game system. Dang, like man, but 8 o'clock, I stay tuned to this show every time. So that joint is just kind of crazy. Very interesting show. For those who listening, hopefully, man, y'all get a chance to go ahead and watch it. It's on Hulu right now. But like, yes, it's kind of bad, but like, man, if you watch it long enough, it's good. Actually, it's not even bad. Let me stop lying. It's not bad. It's just alright. You feel me? It's alright. And like with the protagonist, right? His name is Ryan, right? Well, Ryan, it's like, dang, like he's from the hood. But he's always got this need to like, you know what? I gotta save somebody. Like, I gotta save somebody. I gotta stand up for him. I gotta do things on my own, right? Like, I gotta do things on my, I gotta handle some business. And like anything that you can think about that happened, that could happen, happened. And all this stuff happened to him while he was under 18. I mean, like, getting into fights, then they getting expelled from school, drugs, sex, alcohol, going on trips to Mexico, to bake, like anything that you could think of, like this happens. And I'm looking like, damn, bro, like every time you about to come up, some bullshit happens. And I be looking like, dang, yo, that's kind of remind me of real life. Like every time you think you about to come up and go up to the next level and shit, some bullshit happens. You think you about to get the whip, COVID happens. You think you about to do that? They come down and close the job. I'm looking like, damn. So I don't know. Lately, like certain shows, certain situations been just like resonating with me. And I be in the house like back on my old shit, like back on my 90s shit, like when I used to watch movies with my mother, like I be in there like, damn, jumping on my seat, like, damn, bro, what the fuck happened? And my family be around the house like, yo, you good? I was like, yeah. I like, yo, what's the name? Just that your father, because your father lied about having cancer and shit. And he like, you don't want to hit me and bro just teed off on him like, I got like, yes, I do. I want all the smoke. Like that joint crazy. But I've been in my bag of nostalgia lately. You feel me? In my free time, just chilling. Still in here trying to come up with some cool and interesting topics to talk about. You know, got some heat. I feel like I got some heat. I got some heat to talk about. I'm trying to bring my foster cousin in a way onto the show so we can talk about some topics as well as the fam because the fam supports you in everything you do, and we always have these very interesting intellectual conversations with the fam, and it's kind of weird now because like I think I was telling this to my coworker. It's kind of weird now when you're just turning 18, 19, right, and you just graduated school. Like the family don't really like they give you some space and let you, to allow you to grow, but like they don't really trust you like wholeheartedly, right? And I was saying that, like in this situation, like, oh, when I first got my license, I was 18 and 19, I graduated. My family would never let me hold the car for nothing. It could be just to move it and park it on the other side of the street. They would never let me hold the car. And I'm like, now that I'm 28, like every time I leave the house, they asking me, "Oh, are you taking the car?" And I be like, "Nah, like I'm about to walk or get on the bus." They're like, "Here, no, take the car." And I'm looking like, "Damn, I remember a time y'all wouldn't even let me drive the car at all. Now y'all say y'all not going anywhere here. Take the car. We see you when you come back. No questions asked." And I'm like, dang, like I guess that's what happens when you grow up. Like when you grow up and you get more older and you get more mature, people just like they have more faith in you or they believe in you or they just like know like, okay, you super solid. And it's not like they don't know it before because they know you're gonna get to that point maybe, but it's like when you actually there, it's like here, take the car, we'll see you in 6 hours, 8 hours, or whatever. When you get back, they don't ask where were you, what did you do, who you meet. They just like welcome home, and like that's it. And like lately, I think during this whole COVID quarantine situation, 2020, 2021, like the conversations I've been having with my family has been like very interesting. Cause I just been like sitting back lately. I've been sitting back, arms folded, like asking questions, soaking up the game, right? And they've been spitting. I think my grandmother said a couple of like very inspirational things or old sayings that I didn't even know nothing about. I think recently she said something about we was talking about marriage, right? Recently, man, my grandmother was talking about marriage, and she was like, yeah, you take me as a guy who won't get married. And I was like, damn, grandma, like, what make you say I won't get married? She was like, for one, you kind of know a little bit too much. I was like, dang. I said, okay, cool. And then she like, for two, she was like, well, once she said, yeah, you know a little bit too much for sure, yeah. And then she also went on to like say like, yo, um, a lot of times like where people mess up in their relationships is like if you play house, you don't get house. And I be looking like, what does that mean? She was like if you move in with your girlfriend or boyfriend and y'all move in for 3, 4, 5 years, stuff like that, and then you think that's gonna triculate to like actually like getting married sometimes, like it don't. And I was like, dang. I was looking like, what you came up with that? And she was like, nah, that if you play house, you don't get house is like a old saying. I was looking like, damn, if that's an old saying, like, why I'm just hearing about it now? And she was like, I don't know what to say. She was like, sometimes like y'all be thinking that us old elderly people are kind of like, crazy. Like we don't know what we're talking about. And I'm looking like, nah, grandma, like not me. Like I really listen. Like I fold my arms and I be listening like, yo, teach me. Cause like the game never really changes, as the game changed, it kind of stayed the same. So I was looking like, yo, teach me, like teach me some new heat. But it'd be interesting, right? Because my grandmother would be asking me sometimes about what's going on nowadays. She be like, what's up with y'all? Yo, she what she said? She said, what's up with y'all and kissing nowadays? And I said, huh? She asked me this when I was about to go to the gym one day. She's like, "What's up with y'all kids and kissing nowadays?" And I was looking like, "Damn, grandma, what are you talking about kissing?" She was like, what type of time y'all be on as far as kissing? Like, do you like kissing or not? And I was like, where this coming from? She was like, because like she was like, some people don't know how to kiss. And I was like, I could kind of see what you're saying. Um, he's like, and some people don't know how to kiss. Like she, I be seeing the TV shows, and I be seeing people while they out, and I be looking like, what the fuck is wrong with them? And I be like, yo, grandma, a lot of times, like the culture kind of different. Like some people be on that kiss stuff. They like the little, you know, hey babe, the pecks. Some people will tongue you down. And my grandma was like, what? Like, yeah, girl, like sometimes they like that. They'll tongue you down for real. Like, but it's crazy. And we would talk about that. And she was like, well, which one is you? I said, grandma, I'm like, chill, grandma. Chill. Chill. And it's crazy because these conversations can go 1 to 100. And I take myself out of the equation. I said, grandma, I'm just gonna tell you what be happening out here, what you can expect out here, and that's it. And she was like, dang, back in my day things was different. And this is how we get down. And every time we sit down and have a conversation about it, like I always learn something new. So it's very interesting, man. It's very interesting. One thing I do like about the pod, and I don't know if I said it yet in the pod, but I like the fact that I get to talk to, a bunch of different people, right? Not just the fact that I get to talk to them, but I actually get to sit back and actually listen to, what they say and what they experience and what they go through. And like that's going to be the main contributing factor that's going to keep me, this doing the podcast is the fact that like I really just like listening to what people say and what people don't say and be like, dang, like, that joint was fire, and really learning something. And like I'm telling you, I've been learning a lot lately, man. Just sitting around and just listening, man. I've been learning a lot. I think the homie Mega, um he was in episode 2 about game. He said, I think he told me back in April 2020. He said, "Man, I'm not giving no advice." He said, "I'm just taking advice." I'm looking like, "Damn, bro." Like I never heard nobody say that. He was like, "Yeah." He was like, "I'm just gonna take advice, or any advice anybody got to give me. I'm just gonna listen. Like I'm not giving no advice to nobody." And I was like, "Dang, like." You know what? That may be something I want to try at some point. This sit back and just listen, like not give nobody no game, no jewels, no nothing. Just like, yo, what can you teach me? Like show me the ropes. I'm willing to learn. And I think that's a dope thing. Um, I was talking to who I was talking to. I think I was talking to somebody. Yeah, I was talking to somebody about 2021, right? Because it was like, yo, how was your 2021, or how has it been so far? Because we already in October. And I was like, dang, like, man, to tell the truth. Oh no, I know who I was talking to. I was talking to Jazz. And I was like, to be honest, like 2021 haven't really been that bad. Actually 2020 has been a pretty decent year for me. You feel me? The beginning of the half of the year went pretty good. Started a couple podcasts, had countless conversations with people, helped a couple people out on their own projects. Saturday Night Smash, Miguel and his video projects and his photography projects. Went out of town a couple times. It was, you know, Pennsylvania, DC, Virginia, Delaware, a couple times, but went out of town a couple times, North Carolina. But like I'm looking like, dang, like looking at it 2021, I'm like, dang, like man, like you really been doing a lot this year, Twan. Like a lot. And I'm looking like, dang, it's just turning to October, and we still got like so much more ground to actually cover. You feel me? I still got so much ground to cover this year. Finally back to, working. So we get a chance to make some M's there, make some M's, say some M's, um, do some things for my niece that I wanted to do, buy her a bike, buy her a remote control car, us have our uncle, niece, outing, eventually. But like really like 2021 hasn't really been that bad of a year, for the bull. You feel me? And I'm like, man, like we got so much more ground to actually cover. This is in terms of life. You feel me? Just in terms of life for real. So I'm like, man, let's see how far we can take it. I know I be talking to the homies, and I be listening to them, and I be watching them. They might not know it, but I do. I do pay attention. I be listening to them. I be watching, and and seeing what moves they making and how they moving and how they progressing just on along their own path. And I'm like, man, like I know times may seem rough for y'all, but like y'all actually cooking. Like y'all been cooking since 2020, and 2021 y'all still cooking. Like from January all the way until like September, cooking in terms of photo shoots, streams, project, working on their houses, working on their music, just been cooking across the board, just staying consistent, working on that savings, working on staying out of trouble, working on elevating to the next level, like, or just opening that mind, just learning new stuff. Like they really, really been cooking lately. And I'm like, man, this keep the same energy you've been doing. Like keep the same energy that you on and see how far you can take it. Like see how can you go on a streak. You was on a 9-month streak, 10-month streak. And I honestly could say, like, with the pod and talking to people and then just being in my bag and being in my spirit, I've been on a streak lately for a couple months, man. Just been riding high, and I'm still gonna ride high all the way until the end of the year, until December. So that's super dope. But yeah, this is, I know it's kind of a rant this episode, but yo, things been good. You feel me? Things has been better than what it is. But what I do need to do personally, right, is I really need to sit down, like no podcast, no video games, no interruptions, and really like think about like where I'm at in my 5-year plan that I set, 3 years ago. I think we at the 3.5 year mark right now. And 2020 and COVID kind of like set a lot of people back in as far as their plans for their life and the plans on what they're going to do. And I really need to sit back and really think like, dang, like where I'm at as far as my 5-year plan is going, and like, do I need to change some stuff? Do I need to adjust some stuff? But I gotta say, like things actually have been good. Pandemic was tough. I ain't gonna lie, the pandemic year was kind of tough. Mostly the fact that my movements was very restricted. It was restricted because of COVID and social distancing. And then it was restricted because of like just violence and shootings in my neighborhood, which caused like my family to kind of like worry about me. So it's like, oh, I can go out there and stay out there all day and ponder my ideas and create and craft, and make them worry, or I can like, okay, I'll just come home at a reasonable time so y'all not have to worry about me, right? But like, it was very restrictive in that sense, in that aspect, right? And if it wasn't for the homie Miguel, the homie Rob, and a couple other people, just like having projects and stuff like that and things that they just need help and assistance on to get me like out and keep me in a safe space, whether I'm out of town with them in DC, I'm at their house, whatever. 2020 would have been way more of a difficult year than what it was. You feel me? So I appreciate them wholeheartedly, and I show them in like every little step I take, every time I meet them, link up with them. I tell them, show them like, yo, I really appreciate y'all, man. Y'all really held it down. And when I be saying like, yo, somebody is going to get the belt for friend of the year, I'm not lying or capping on that. Like, yeah, I might have to send out a couple belts or a couple trophies or something like that. I might have to send a couple trophies down to Georgia. I'm gonna have to send a couple over East, over West, over Mills, South Baltimore, down Penn North. I'm gonna have to send a couple trophies a little bit everywhere. You feel me? Out Seattle, out to Cali. I'm gonna have to send it everywhere, cause like people really held it down. You feel me? They really held it down. But that's kind of what this podcast is. This podcast episode probably gonna be about. It's gonna just be the rant and the nostalgia. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this. I told you I wasn't even gonna do this shit, man. I was just gonna sit back, chill, um, watch the OC. But duty calls, man. Duty calls, and you gotta show up. So I'm here for it. Hopefully y'all been enjoying the graphics and pictures and stuff like that I have been putting on the social media, because I work really hard at it. I work really hard at it, planning and plotting it out, thinking about what would be cool to say, what would be interesting, and really, showing people the love that they deserve. Because a lot of these people have been working hard. A lot of the people in my team, in my squad, around me in my circle, they've been working hard, man, and they deserve the love, the recognition. And like sometimes people don't always have the time or the money or the resources to do it. So by all means, that's why I go out there and I shout them out, and I make them smile and I treat them and I link up with them, so they know like, yo, you appreciate it, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. You can take it as far as you want to take it, for sure. But other than that, people, that is the episode. So, um, man, what should I do for an outro this episode? What should we do? Should we do a song? Oh shit. Mm-mm-mm. I didn't even tell you about the music. Let me hold it. I didn't even tell you about the music. So, dang, what I do? What I do? What I do? Oh, I was mixing. I also been mixing a couple of songs these past week. Right. I've been mixing a song called The Recipe 2, which is pretty dope. That is fire. I've been mixing a song called um Carried Away. I've been listening to that and mixing that, and then it's another song called 90s, or back in the 90s or something like that. That song is a song that I've been conceptualizing, I've been working on, and I gotta say that song probably gonna be dope. If I could get up the bridge section of it like structured and finished, it's gonna be dope. So I just gotta send it to my circle, to my friends, and like ask them like, yo, what would you think will be something dope to put right here in this section of the joint, and see what they say. Because it's dope. How did the verse go? I think the second verse, right, go. Um, it's like a piggyback of what Mega Man said in his song Jim Kelly. It was like, bro said these is under his souls. Damn, I guess it's time that I switch up the flows, because I didn't get shit for the low. Like, go ahead and go. And I'm like, dang, that joint is crazy. Like, it's what he said, and I add my own spin to it. So it's fire. The beat is fire. That I found it on YouTube. The penmanship and fire. It's me when Riley Esco started writing and stuff like that. It could get crazy. It could get dark in there real quick. So I've been working on a couple of songs lately, of course, really trying to shape up this project that I've been having sitting on my table for the longest. Eventually putting that out before the music get too um outdated and expired. And like, for people who write, they kind of know that songs could get too outdated and expired, especially if you grow as a person past when you made the song. Does that make sense? Like, if you grow as a person past that where you was at when you made that song to another person, like you make a transition, when you look back at it, it's like, dang, like this joint is kind of like trash. It doesn't resemble me. So I ain't gonna put it out. So I've been working on trying to put the pieces in places for that, so that I can put that out, just to say that I finally did it. Finally get it off my plate, see what people say about it, maybe make a music video or two. Who knows? There's a couple of bangers on that joint for sure. There's a couple bangers on that joint. Um, but I guess that's gonna be our the podcast episode. This was episode 5, and this is what we're gonna call this. The title of this gonna be, 90s nostalgia, I guess. Another Escobar rant. Who knows? But other than that, people, it's your boy Riley Escobar holding it down for y'all once again. And please support your boy on all the streaming platforms. Rate, thumbs up, thumbs down, 5 stars, 1 star. Every little bit helps. Share the pod with people, who may be interested, who need something to do. Share the pod, of course. And the videos will soon be up on YouTube as well. So episode 0 to episode 5 will soon be on there. So check out the YouTube, Just Send It podcast, and you'll see the stamp, and they'll say Riley Escobar on it. So that's me. So please stay tuned. We got more content to come. Without further ado, I'm out. Yo, shout out to Melly, Val, Mega Man, Infinite Records with the Infinite Crescent, SMG, and the whole clique. Let's go.
Yo, my man Val, he told me that he was 101. Or maybe he told me that he was number one. I don't know how he said it, just having fun. There's a lot of shit that's cool that I haven't done. I haven't locked in the game yet on some power shit. Or hosted a meeting with street astrologists. Or moved away from home and had a lot of kids. I'm just playing, you feel me? Y'all know y'all got the gist. I made moves, introduced crews to other crews so we can improve and reach our higher goals.
Yeah.
Caravan and coupes, long ride alongs. No need to scoop me, my nigga. I know we got our own. Yo, Escobar whipping up in the latest Z. B more to Cali, and then we just switch to A to B. Y'all know that I'm gonna take the lead. Followed by Mega and T. Double tree, we be pulling up. Melly even brought the Miata. He cool or what? Even Maine came through with something that's new to us. Keys just the hoopty for a Honda. He moving up. Parking lot filled to the brim. They sick of us. Leave a big tip before we leave. We generous. Manager hit me in the Z. Come visit us. We gotta go, but we will double back. Treat the whole road like a track. Esco did that. It's more than putting words up in these raps.
There's more.
I'm trying to turn these words into the facts, and that's a fact. 10 stacks, always keep it 10 toes. If you're winning, I always commend, bro. Yo,
bro.
My man Val, he told me that he was 101. Or maybe he told me that he was number one. I don't know how he said, just having fun. There's a lot of shit that's cool that I haven't done.
It is.
I haven't locked in the game yet on some power shit. I hosted a meeting with street astrologists. I moved away from home and had a lot of kids. I'm just playing, you feel me? Y'all know you got the gist. Please respect it. And if you can't respect it, then check it, then we will wreck it. Crack your ship, no talking. You really gotta back your ship. Buccaneers coming through, they will snatch your script. We made a wave, but even though we looking unscathed, there was some days when we would say this not enough. Tip said height, still trying to triple up. I'm trying to triple the triple, then rip a triple up. Go straight madness, all for the love of the fam and not the cabbage. Go green, iceberg and spinach can leave you lavish. Go still chasing that shit, I'm winning up on you bastards. Still work my magic, these Escobars everlasting. Trying to keep 'em moving, I'm cruising, I'm never stagnant.
I see.
Live life, build up your crew and find your passion. The lyrical assassin, who knew this shit was my passion? I didn't know, I was just cool enough, shit is happening. Photo shoots and videos, working on projects on top of videos. They say we ladies, so we get litty, bro. More to the views and more to the news in the city, yo. Never forget it. I always stayed the course no matter where I was headed. I was livid, but still did it the next the ball. I found my own way when I wrote Escobar. Still been giving them extra bars. Still been living life extra large. Always taking charge. I'm the first to barge and lead the way. Not much more I need to say. Still in the hood like E and J. Fuck all that bitch and we need to pay. I see you, babe. When there is a will, there's a way. I see you, kid. Things it just is what it is. This for my niggas. I'm glad that I did what I did. So SMG can get ahead, yo. Yeah.